everybody, Beth Helvey, Michael Saunders and Company. I hope you're doing well today. Today is Wednesday, the 8th of April, and yes, I looked at my watch because if I don't look, I just don't know kind of how things are these days. So I just had a really fantastic meeting. Hi, Evelyn, with my Michael Saunders and Company Main Street colleagues, and there are new disclosures out in regards to COVID-19. And these apply to everybody. So these are not just disclosures that we're going to be giving to new listings or new buyers. These are all going out to even our existing listings. I don't care how long you've had it, we're going to be giving them out. Excuse me. So basically what we're going to do is we're going to send a form, hi Mark, to people that say, and I'm looking at my form here, so excuse me, wants to know if you traveled through an airport in the last 30 days, have you been on a cruise ship in the last 30 days? Have you been in contact or cared for a person who has known COVID-19 or flu-like symptoms? Because not everybody's getting diagnosed, not everybody's getting tested, okay? And do you have signs or symptoms of respiratory concerns or illness? Hey, Linda. So here's how this goes. I hope you're doing good, Linda. Here's how this goes. It's a form. Unlike a lot of our real estate forms, this one has no signatures. This is simply a disclosure. And what we're doing is we're giving it to buyers and we're giving it to sellers, and we're asking them to use their best judgment. And here's why. Because I think we talked about this last week. We do have to be concerned about a possible fair housing issue and discriminatory issues. We're walking a really fine line. Now, hi, Rosa. Now, you have to forgive us because, let's face it, we've never experienced anything like this before. We can't go to our parents or our grandparents and say, hey, when you were 20, 30, 40 years old, how did you get through XYZ? Because they haven't done this either. So we are keeping up as best as we can, and we are trying as hard as we can to keep everybody safe while we do this. So what we're doing is we're asking buyers and sellers to use their best judgment. And we're not saying, tick this box that you cared for somebody, or tick this box that you felt like you had the flu a couple weeks ago. Hi, Brandon. What we're doing is saying, if you feel like you fall into these categories, please refrain from coming in person. Hi, Peter. And that's what we're doing right now. And the reason I am doing so many, hey, Rosa, the reason I am providing so many parameters or what ifs is because there's a really good chance that this form is going to change. There's a really good chance that some of the forms we're putting out are going to change. Hi, Shay, as we get through this, as we navigate this whole thing. Hey, Dean, and as we move forward. So National Association of Realtors, the Sarasota Manatee Realtor Association, we're all keeping up as much as we can and doing this rather quickly, I must say. So kudos to them for providing us this information as quickly as they have been. We do have a new listing addendum. Now, typically speaking, if you have a listing, hey, Lori, that for whatever reason cannot be shown, I'm not talking COVID-19. I'm talking anything. You've got family in town. You just had surgery. You have a new baby and you just don't want, something like that, and you don't want it shown. You take it temporarily off market because per MLS rules. Now, this is in my MLS. I don't know if every MLS is like this, but I think most of them are. If you have a property that can't be shown for whatever reason, technically speaking, it's not supposed to be listed as active. It's supposed to be listed as withdrawn or temporarily off market. Now, a lot of people will do temporarily off market if, for example, they had surgery, they're replacing the roof, they've got a whole bunch of family in town, the grandkids are in town on spring break. What they'll do is they don't want people in and out, so they'll take it temporarily off the market and then they'll put it back on when whatever's going on is done. Hey, Barbara. What we're doing now is, hi, Eric, is we are allowing a caveat to this. So for those persons who have property that is active and they don't really want anybody in their house, what we are doing is allowing virtual tours. So if the seller is willing to allow a virtual tour, and however the seller and their agent defines virtual tour, hi Dion, is fine, because we're not defining that. We're just saying that that needs to be available. Hey, Eric. that is allowable as remaining active. Now, we do have a couple weird things going on. We've got a couple condo buildings that are not letting anybody in. So for them, the virtual tour option is very, very important, okay? Because then they can still market their property, because don't forget, with the new NAR rule, hi Kathy, we cannot market a property that is not active. We're not allowed to do that. So we talked about that one several weeks ago. But in order for any realtor to market your property, as a realtor, your property has to be active. So those are the new rules. So in order to do that, you need to be available to show it. And if you are in a building or a situation, or you just don't want anybody in your house right now, what you can do is have a virtual tour. And that's perfectly acceptable, okay? Now, a virtual tour isn't necessarily the slideshow that goes through the pictures. A virtual tour is a proper virtual tour, which is basically like a video, okay? So that's what we're doing, and we're allowing sellers to make these choices. Now, what we're doing in this time frame, and a few of you have asked me about the days on market, is that if you are remaining active and you're choosing to do virtual tours, or if you are remaining active and just not getting a lot of activity, good morning, Carmen, we are not suspending the days on market count. We talked about this last week. To be perfectly honest, this is my opinion. This isn't fact. This is only my opinion. I don't think it's going to be that big of a deal. And the reason is this, is I think because the entire country, the entire world is going through this right now. I think once real estate gets started and they see that somebody's been on the market for 60, 90 days, 120 days, whatever, we're going to understand that there's a large chunk of that in the middle where there really wasn't a lot of activity going on. So whereas before where buyers were saying, well, gosh, they've been on the market for X amount of days, they must be ready to sell. We could probably get it for a good price. I don't know that that's going to happen right now. I don't know. Okay, so I think that the count for the days on market isn't going to mean as much for a while as it has in the past, okay, because we have so many things going on in the world right now. So, hi, Jen. If a person wants to do that, they can take it temporarily off market if they don't want to do the virtual tour, because let's face it, you know what happens to the virtual tour? People watch it. If somebody watches it, they might put an offering on it. If somebody puts an offering on it, you know what? They're going to have an inspector. And they're going to be allowed to inspect the house. Now, everything's negotiable. We can find ways to accommodate everybody. We certainly can. There are some buyers who are buying properties out there and waiving their right to inspection because they just want that property. That's okay too. We can extend the inspection period. There's a lot of ways that we can do this to make everybody happy. Hi, Cindy. We just all have to be a little bit flexible on this, okay? So these are the forms that we're doing right now. We're also sending out a FAQ, frequently asked questions, and to all of our sellers so that they understand what these new addendums mean. So if you're one of my people, you're going to be getting it today. And if you're a seller with another agent, you're probably going to be getting it as well too. And that's what we're doing to protect everybody. These are the new forms. We are allowing virtual tours in order to remain in active status. And this is very important because there are people who need to sell. There are people for whatever reason need to move and need to sell their house. And then there's people out there for whatever reason need to buy a house. That is one of those things that doesn't stop. You know, the fact that people relocate. Hey, Cindy. So that is my thing. Now I want to talk to you a little bit about something else. There's a lot of stuff going around on social media. And if, I don't know, I'm kind of wondering if maybe we should shut some of it off for a little bit. But there's a lot of stuff going around about, you know, if you don't come out of this with a new side gig, you didn't learn how to speak, I don't know, ancient Greek or something, that you are actually not disciplined. And I don't think that's true. And this is just an opinion thing now. I think we're all doing the best we can. I think we got kids who are homeschooling. I think we're making dinner. I think we're going crazy. I think it's hard to not be able to go to the gym, go to the market every day for those who do, because it's not unusual to do that. Go to the beach, go to the parks, walk around downtown and do stuff like that. So, you know, give everybody a break. And have you taken your meds? So your meds is, M is if you've meditated or prayed. This is just a little something that a group of I'm involved with is doing. Have you gotten some exercise? Are you watching what you're eating? And are you getting enough sleep? So, I mean, you know, we're all having those days. We're all having those days where we're busting it out and we're super, super productive. And then there's those days where it's 2 o'clock and we really, really want to just sit on the couch with the kids and snuggle and watch Netflix and kind of check out. And that's okay too. So, and I'm always here. If anybody wants to talk real estate, I'm always available to talk real estate. I love real estate. But if anybody just wants to chat, I'm here to chat. I hope everybody's doing good. We've got these forms, and hey, Lisa, that we're using to protect everybody so that we can still sell your house and you can still stay protected. If you have any questions on these forms, please feel free to reach out to me. I'm happy to answer any questions. If you have any questions on real estate in general, throw it in the comments or DM me. I'm happy to do that as well. And don't forget to take your meds, right? So if you have a chance to get outside today, please do so. It's a beautiful day. It is going to be, I think, in the mid 80s. I honestly haven't checked. Oh, well, thank you very much. And so if you get a chance, wear your sunscreen, drink lots of water, get some sunshine, and I will talk to you later. Bye, everybody.